and welcome. Everyone, I'm Emma, and with me is Max. Today, we're going to talk about something super helpful for learning English: how to practice speaking English alone.
That's right. Many people think they need someone else to practice speaking, but you can improve a lot even when you're by yourself.
Exactly, and practicing alone has its benefits. You don't feel shy or nervous about making mistakes, so you can really focus on improving.
Let's start with a simple idea. One of the best things you can do is to talk to yourself. It might sound funny, but it works.
Oh, I do that all the time. For example, you can describe what you're doing during the day. Like, I am making coffee, or now I'm going to wash the dishes.
Yes, you can even ask yourself questions and answer them. For example, what do I want for dinner? Maybe pasta, but do I have pasta at home? See, you're practicing sentences and vocabulary.
That's a great tip, Max. Another idea is to choose a topic and speak about it for a few minutes. You can talk about your favorite food, your dream vacation, or even your daily routine.
Right, and if you're not sure what to say, you can write down some keywords first. For example, if you want to talk about your favorite movie, write down words like funny, characters, story, or ending, then use those words to build sentences.
And don't worry if it's not perfect. The goal is to keep speaking. The more you practice, the better you get.
Here's another idea: read out loud. If you have a book, a magazine, or even text messages in English, try reading them aloud.
That's a fantastic exercise. It helps you practice pronunciation, and it makes your mouth get used to English sounds. Plus, you can hear how the words flow together.
Yes, and if you want to make it more fun, try reading with emotion. Pretend you're an actor. If the text is sad, read it like you're really sad. If it's happy, read it with excitement.
Oh, that's so much fun. Another thing I love to do is record my voice. You can use your phone to record yourself speaking.
That's a brilliant idea. When you listen to the recording, you can hear your mistakes and work on them. It's also encouraging because you'll notice your progress over time.
And speaking of phones, you can also use speech-to-text apps. These are apps where you speak, and the app writes what you say. If the app doesn't understand you, you know you need to practice that word more.
That's such a smart way to check your pronunciation. And don't forget, you can also shadow English speakers.
Shadowing is amazing. If you don't know what that means, it's like this. You listen to someone speaking English, maybe in a video or podcast, and you repeat exactly what they say almost at the same time.
It's like being their echo. This helps you with rhythm, intonation, and natural expressions.
Yes, and you can choose something short, like a sentence or two, and repeat it until it feels natural.
Another fun tip is to pretend you're in a situation. Imagine you're at a restaurant and practice ordering food. You can say, "Hello, I'd like a sandwich, please. Oh, and a coffee too."
That's perfect. Or imagine you're at an airport. Practice saying things like, "Excuse me, where is gate 5? Or can I have my boarding pass, please?"
Role-playing like this is super effective because it prepares you for real-life situations. You'll feel more confident when you actually need to speak.
Absolutely. And here's another creative idea. Use a mirror. Stand in front of the mirror and speak.
I love that tip. When you look at yourself, you can see your mouth move, and it helps you feel more connected to what you're saying.
Plus, it's like having a conversation with yourself. You can pretend you're introducing yourself to someone new. For example, "Hi, my name is Emma. Nice to meet you. I'm from London."
Yes, and try to smile while you talk. Smiling can make your voice sound more friendly and confident.
That's such a good point, Max. Confidence grows when you practice regularly, even if you're alone.
Exactly, and remember, it's all about building a habit. Speak a little English every day, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes. You'll see amazing progress.
Definitely, small, daily practice makes a big difference. Speaking English alone is not only helpful, but it's also a lot of fun when you try these tips.
So let's dive deeper into how you can practice speaking English alone. One thing we didn't talk much about is using pictures. Pictures are a great way to spark ideas and help you speak.
Oh, that's a great tip, Max. You can use any picture, maybe a photo on your phone, a magazine picture, or even something online.
Exactly. For example, look at a picture of a beach. Start by describing what you see. The sand is golden. The water is blue. There are people swimming. Then try to create a story.
Yes, you could say the family on the beach looks happy. Maybe they are on holiday. They brought sandwiches and cold drinks. It's a great way to practice creating sentences.
And if you want a challenge, you can imagine you're in the picture. For example, I'm walking on the beach. The water feels cold and the sun is warm on my face.
That's so creative. Another way to practice is by using songs. Do you have a favorite English song?
I do. Listening to music is fun, but singing along is even better. When you sing, you practice pronunciation, rhythm, and new words.
Yes, and if you don't know all the words, you can look up the lyrics. Read them, then sing them. It's like learning through music.
And if you're feeling brave, try making your own version of the song. Change the words to make your own funny or personal lyrics.
Oh, that's a fantastic idea. It's creative, and it keeps you engaged with English. Another great way to practice is by using a diary or journal.
Yes, writing is powerful, but speaking your thoughts aloud takes it to another level.
For example, after writing in your diary, read what you wrote out loud. Or you can skip writing and just say your thoughts. Today, I went to the park. The weather was sunny, and I felt happy.
Right. It's like talking about your day to a friend, but the friend is you. And it helps you practice past tense and describing feelings.
Speaking of feelings, here's another idea. Practice speaking about your emotions. For example, say how you feel right now. I feel excited because I'm learning English.
That's so helpful. You can also talk about how you felt in the past or how you might feel in the future. Like, yesterday, I felt tired, but tomorrow I will feel relaxed.
Yes, talking about emotions is great for learning how to express yourself naturally. Another fun way to practice is by pretending to give a speech.
Oh, like being a presenter, that's a fantastic idea. You can pretend you're giving a speech at a school or an event. For example, hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about my favorite hobby, cooking.
Or you could imagine you're teaching someone how to do something. For example, first, take a piece of paper. Then, fold it like this. Now you have a paper airplane.
Teaching is such a smart way to practice because you're using clear instructions and lots of verbs. It's also great for practicing sequences like first, then, and finally.
That's true. And speaking of verbs, it's a good idea to practice with specific categories. For example, you can focus on travel vocabulary one day. Say sentences like, I'm packing my suitcase. I need to take my passport. The plane leaves at 10 a.m.
That's a great strategy. Another day, you can focus on food vocabulary. Pretend you're in a kitchen and say, I'm cutting vegetables. I'm boiling water. I'm making soup.
It's like building your vocabulary one step at a time. And you don't need anything fancy. Just look around and use what's near you.
Speaking of using what's near you, try labeling things in your house with English words. Write table, chair, or lamp on sticky notes and stick them to the objects.
Oh, that's a fantastic idea. Then, when you walk around your house, practice saying full sentences. This is my table. The lamp is on the table. I use the chair to sit and read.
Yes, and as you get more comfortable, you can add adjectives. For example, this is a big table. The lamp is very bright. My chair is soft and comfortable.
That's a great way to practice describing things. And if you want to make it more challenging, try creating a story about your house.
Like, imagine your house is magical. This chair can talk. It tells me stories every night. The lamp is special. It lights up when I say hello.
I love that idea. It's so creative and fun. You can also practice by pretending you're shopping. Pick an item in your house, like a book, and say, "Excuse me, how much is this book?" "Oh, it's $10. Thank you."
That's such a good exercise for practicing real-life situations. You can even add more, like asking for help. "Excuse me, where can I find more books?" "Oh, they're over there. Thank you."
That's perfect. And don't forget, when you practice speaking alone, try to use different tones. Speak loudly, softly, slowly, or quickly.
Yes, it helps you get used to how English sounds in different situations, and it makes practice more interesting.
Absolutely. There are so many ways to practice speaking alone, and all of them help build confidence and fluency.
The key is to be consistent. Even 5 or 10 minutes a day can make a big difference over time.
Let's keep exploring more ways to practice speaking English alone. One thing I love to do is pretend I'm having a conversation with someone famous or someone I admire.
Oh, that's such a fun idea. You can imagine talking to your favorite actor, singer, or even a historical figure.
Exactly. For example, pretend you're talking to a famous chef. You could say, "Hello, I love your recipes. How do you make your pasta sauce so delicious?" Then imagine their answer and respond.
That's a great way to practice both asking and answering questions. You can even use it to practice polite phrases like, "It's an honor to meet you," or "Thank you for your advice."
Yes, and it doesn't have to be a serious conversation. You can make it funny. Imagine you're talking to your favorite superhero. Ask silly questions like, "How do you fly so fast?" Or "Do you eat pizza when you're not saving the world?"
That sounds like so much fun, and speaking of imagination, here's another idea: create your own story. You can be the main character, and you can describe what happens step by step.
Oh, storytelling is amazing. For example, you could say, "One day, I woke up and found a treasure map under my bed. I decided to follow it. First, I went to the forest. Then, I crossed a river."
Yes, and you can add as many details as you want. The more details, the more you practice. Describe what you see, what you feel, and what happens next.
And if you want to practice past tense, make up a story about something that happened yesterday. For example, "Yesterday, I went to the park. I saw a dog, and it was so cute. Then, I met a friend, and we had ice cream together."
That's a great way to make grammar practice fun. Another useful tip is to set small goals for your speaking practice. For example, decide to learn 5 new sentences each day and say them out loud.
Oh, yes, small goals make it easier to stay consistent. And you can use topics you like, such as sports, food, or travel, to make it more interesting.
Exactly. For example, if you like sports, you can say, "I play football every weekend. My favorite team is Manchester United. Last week, they won an exciting game."
That's perfect. And if you're not sure how to make sentences, you can use English phrasebooks or apps. They have ready-made sentences you can practice out loud.
Yes, and speaking of apps, don't forget about language learning apps that focus on speaking. Many of them use voice recognition, so you can practice saying phrases and the app will tell you if you're pronouncing them correctly.
That's such a useful tool. Another idea is to practice with videos. Watch a short video in English, pause it, and repeat what the speaker says.
Oh, that's called shadowing, right? It's a great way to learn how native speakers talk.
Yes, and you don't have to repeat everything. Start with 1 or 2 sentences. Listen carefully, pause the video, and then say it yourself. Try to match the speaker's tone and speed.
And don't worry if it's hard at first, just keep practicing and it will get easier. It's also helpful to choose videos on topics you enjoy, like cooking, travel, or sports.
That's a great point, Max. The more you enjoy what you're doing, the more motivated you'll feel to keep practicing. Another fun way to practice is to play games with yourself.
Oh, like word games?
Exactly. For example, try a word association game. Start with one word, like apple, and say the first word that comes to your mind, like fruit. Then keep going: fruit, healthy, exercise, running, and so on.
That's such a creative exercise. It helps you think in English and build vocabulary at the same time.
Yes, and you can also try guessing games. Pick an object in your house and describe it without saying its name. For example, it's small, it's round, and you can eat it. What is it?
Oh, I love that. It's an apple, right?
Exactly. It's a simple game, but it's great for practicing descriptions. And if you want to make it harder, try describing things with more detail, like colors, shapes, or uses.
Oh, those are so fun. They're a bit challenging, but they really help with pronunciation and speaking speed.
Absolutely. And if you want something easier, try practicing single sounds like B and P. Say words like bat, pat, ball, and pal to hear the difference.
That's a great way to train your ears and mouth. And remember, it's okay to take your time. Speak slowly and clearly, especially when practicing new words.
Definitely. Slow and steady wins the race. Another idea is to create a reward system for yourself. For example, if you practice speaking for 15 minutes, reward yourself with a treat or a break.
That's a great motivation, and don't forget to celebrate your progress. Even small improvements are worth celebrating.
Yes, every step counts. Practicing speaking English alone might feel strange at first, but it's one of the best ways to become more confident and fluent.
Exactly, and remember, the most important thing is to enjoy the process. Keep practicing every day and you'll see amazing results.
That's right. Thank you for joining us today. If you found these tips helpful, please subscribe to our channel and share this podcast with your family and friends.
Yes, and don't forget to leave a comment below. We'd love to hear how you practice speaking English alone.
Take care, everyone, and happy learning.
Bye-bye, keep speaking and stay confident.